Welcome to my podcast, Wholesome Together. I'm Tamar, and I'm a certified holistic health coach. All discussions in this podcast are general information and not intended for medical advice. Please consult with your physician or healthcare provider for any questions or concerns. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Wholesome Together. I'm your host, Tamar. I have a special guest here, my good friend, Julyet Berlen.
Hello.
Julyet is a keto, fasting, and integration health coach, as well as an author of Modern Medicine Woman, which we're going to have her sign my book so you guys need to get a copy of this. It's super informative. It has amazing recipes. And we're going to talk to Julyet today she'll tell us a little bit about herself, how she got started, and she's also going to tell us a little bit about her book. Julyet, how are you this morning?
I'm awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
How exciting.
Yes. Julyet and I go way back, 15 years? 5 years.
We just met.
We were babies when we met.
There you go.
Julyet, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started into this healing and health world? How did you come to this?
Actually, even as a kid, I was super into biology and anatomy and how the human body works. And really, I didn't really pay attention to all that stuff until 20 years ago. When I moved to Los Angeles, everyone was super health conscious and they care about how they poop, how they eat, how they sleep, and all that stuff. I'm like, what's going on? So I really got into Dr. Schultz. That was my first book, actually, and that was my first detox. And after I detoxed, things started leaving my body and my mind kind of started changing. And I'm like, I'm loving how I feel. Let's continue. So I've been in the search of this light and healing and nutrition, I guess, ever since. But it really got accelerated maybe 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I went to holistic integration nutrition school. I became a yoga teacher. I was into fitness. I'm trying to fill the void. I'm like, something is missing. I need to know more. I was not satisfied with what I was learning. And then 5-6 years ago, I came across the plant medicine,
mm-hmm.
and that just accelerated everything fifth gear. So then I couldn't stop, and I still can't stop. So I don't know what's next.
Tell us a little bit about plant medicine. What is plant medicine? What can you tell us about it? What does it do to heal? What does it do? What is your experience with it? Obviously, your experience, everyone's experience is different, but you'll tell us a little bit about what you can expect when you do a ceremony.
First of all, we always say the medicine will find you when you're ready. All of a sudden, it's in your orbit. All of a sudden, you're asking questions. What is this thing? What is ayahuasca? When it came to me, I didn't even know how to spell it. I Googled it, and I saw horrifying results. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing this. This is crazy. And then this place opened in Costa Rica called Rhythmia. I said, okay, I can go there. There's a doctor. They look after you and you're not in jungle. Basically, plant medicine is 2 trees mixed and made a brew. And you drink that with a shaman who is equipped to take you through a ceremony. What happens is when you drink plant medicine, they have a lot of names of it. You can call it ayahuasca, you can call it yahe, you can call it ambivasi. There's million words for it, but I'm gonna call it plant medicine for this talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier.
Is there only one type of plant medicine,
No.
or there's just different names?
Actually, the ingredient is always the same, but
Mm-hmm.
depending on the shaman who's preparing, they can add another plant component. It could be more visual, it could be more purgative.
Mm-hmm.
What is this medicine prepared for? And that's why it's super important who you drink medicine with, because let's say you're having a surgery, you're going into an operation room, there's no doctor. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But your surgery is in the spiritual realm, because we're not just what you see in this body. We also
Right.
have the spiritual the energy body.
The body's just our shell, really.
Exactly. So the soul. So they are the people who will guide you and who will help you while you're going through the darkness to get to the light. Because when you need help, if the person who's serving is not equipped properly and not trained by the spirit itself, they can help you and you're stuck. That's why it's so important where you're drinking, what you drink, who's preparing your medicine. I hear a lot of people in Los Angeles, they're like, oh, I have an ayahuasca ceremony this weekend in Hollywood Hills. I'm like, where did you get it? It's like FedEx. I'm like, be careful.
Oh, wow.
You're playing with fire.
Yeah.
If someone tells you they got their medicine through FedEx, do not.
Right.
Go to the center. Go to South America. Do it properly. Have a great container. Also, who you're drinking with. Who are the people attending to that ceremony? You know, you're working with energy. And energy can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
If it's not tamed.
So does the shaman, so he makes the medicine and he gives it to you. And then when you go through the actual experience, is the shaman by your side? Is he kind of let you have your own experience?
So here's the thing. You can be 8 people, you can be 10, you can be 65. I work with Taito Juanito. He's been my teacher for the past 4.5 years. He's been a Taita lineage. He's not like given this title by me, by a human. It's in his bloodline. He comes from a lineage where all the people are actually Taitas. Taita means teacher. It doesn't mean shaman. Shaman is also someone who leads you, but I don't know how you get the title shaman. It's just very Western. That's how they understand, what you do. But we call him Taita.
Okay.
He's from Colombia. He is from the Inga tribe where they're all indigenous. They grew up in the Amazon. They actually grow the trees of ayahuasca trees where they study the plants. I was just in the Amazon and I saw how they cook simply. They go cut some leaves off, they make a salad. I'm like, oh my God, this is like...
Yeah, Juliet just spent 3 weeks in the Amazon. She just came back. So
yeah, and I saw the ayahuasca tree. Just like I was so starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm holding it in my hands. And the energy there, it's so pure because, first of all, there's no one there. And the trees are all the way on the top of the hill. Like, you don't go there unless you know the land, then you go. But there's no tourists. There's basically the trees, the energy is so protected. So there's no road passing by. There's nothing but nature and the sky and the animals and the earth.
So are these ceremonies typically held outside in nature, and is it usually in the evening or the daytime?
It has to be nighttime.
Okay.
Because everything happens in dark. We grow in dark. But because when the dark comes, we can connect to the spirit because the world is sleeping. Everything is calm. So you can access to that dimension. So we have a conscious mind and then we have a subconscious mind. So our conscious mind is the survival. It's where we live day to day. We know exactly that's our ego mind, but it doesn't stop. That's why we always recommend people to meditate, because when you meditate, you can't really stop your mind. It's like, can you stop your heart? No, but you can switch your focus on a mantra, on a music, on something.
On breath work.
On anything to focus on one thing, so the conscious mind gets quieter, so you can hear or you can see what's in the subconscious. So plant medicine is a tool for us to put the conscious mind on sleep so we can access to the subconscious. And when you're access to subconscious, there are a lot of memories that we have no idea.
That are just in our computer.
It's a program that, between the age 0 to 3, we already got our downloads. Usually where you grow up, who's raising you, your environment, culture, everything has an effect on it. Like, I am Turkish. These are like I am Turkish. I'm 5'11". I have brown hair. Like, this is my mom. Like, that's my identity. So everyone in the world giving the identity in that 3 years. And the baby, we think the babies are just sucking on the bottle or sleeping. Like, we think they're dumb, they don't understand anything, but they're empty computer. They're watching, they're observing, they're hearing. So that's why I always mention that don't fight in front of your baby when they're a baby. They take everything in. Just don't have them watch TV. Don't program your baby in a way that he or she is gonna fail or be unhappy. Don't raise them on lack. My mom always used to say, we don't have enough, we don't have enough. That's how I grew up. Scarcity. I had no idea I had it until I start doing this work. I'm like, oh my God, no matter how much money you give me, I don't have enough. Because I didn't know abundance actually is not about money. It's being enough within yourself. So
and gratitude. You always have to have gratitude.
Well, I grew up in a family where, for example, my mom, it's not gonna work out. Like, always this pessimistic, always like looking into the negative, always, because she comes from a lot of money. And when, that's another podcast where what happened to her. But once she lost everything, she couldn't adjust back to the new life. And so for that reason, right now, I'm teaching my daughter how to do laundry, how to actually make a toast or an egg. Like, she doesn't depend on me. She's 12, and leave her alone. She'll totally be fine. I can send her to college right now. She'll be fine. But she wasn't raised that way, so for her everything was a problem. So growing up with her I was rebelling. That's why I probably left my house. That's why I'm probably working since I'm 16 years old, because I don't want to be like that. That is not the person I want to be. So I ran. And now my relationship was not well with my parents. Now it's best ever, because now I know they didn't know any better. And now I have access to my subconscious. I can put any programming I want on demand. I have tools now which I'm sharing on my YouTube, which I'm sharing on my Instagram, on my book. I have tools now that it takes me maybe an hour to get out of a sad situation, whereas before it paralyzed me. If I had a breakup, I would be in bed crying, not talking to anyone for a week. In like fetus position. Why did that happen to me? Why did he leave me? It's always your fault. I didn't do anything wrong. But deep down, I was the one who was sabotaging everything. The minute you own your own problems, your own wrongdoing, nobody has power over you anymore, because you know you can fix it. The minute we give the other people the power to, you control my happiness, you control my sadness, you control my money, you control my life, then you're screwed.
You have to have the power in everything.
But it took a lot of work for me to understand. Thank God for plant medicine, because it opens so many layers. It's like an onion, another layer, another layer. I mean, I've been working with plant medicine. I had so many ceremonies. And I had a lot of crap to clean.
So Juliet, can you tell us so you walk in, tell us give us like a kind of guideline on how the ceremony starts and what you expect and so on.
So I go to Colombia to retreats where my teacher holds retreats in Colombia and Finca Ambivasi. When you go there, you will have a consultation with him one-on-one, because he will want to know what you're working on. And usually we all have an intention.
Right, so you have to set an intention.
Well, because what happens is when your conscious mind stops with the medicine, it will attack back, and it will be like, no, don't do this. It's like right before there's a change, there's always this moment of, oh, okay, I can't do this, I'm going to go back. That happens in the ceremony. And your mind starts going into the monkey mind. When you have an intention, you kind of wake yourself up. I'm like, oh, I'm here for this and this and this. And go away. I used to do my shopping list. Oh, I have to pick up rain from, like, crazy stuff.
During the ceremony?
You're on the medicine. You're thinking about what to buy, what to cook for tomorrow. It happens. So when you have intention, that intention is like, oh my God, what am I thinking of? My intention was such and such.
So that could truly affect the healing process.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
But having an intention doesn't mean medicine is going to fix that, because medicine only gives you what you need, not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because she scans your body. She's a super intelligent technology. You will drink the medicine. Taita will give you the medicine. He will, of course, put the intention, pray on it, because he's the one who's going to guide you through this flight that you're about to take. He's the pilot. So he gives you the medicine. You take the medicine. You go lay down, and then medicine will hit around maybe 45 minutes into it. You're going to start feeling like sleepy. We call that the sacred drunkenness.
Mm-hmm.
It's the celestial drunkenness. You're not drunk, but your conscious mind starts shutting down. Also DMT, it's already in our body. We're not drinking we're not drinking drugs. Like, it's not made in the office somewhere,
Right.
We already have it in our system.
Okay.
So therefore there's no one dies from this, there's no side effect. So you start producing more DMT, but the enzymes in our stomach usually stops that, because otherwise everyone will walk around like Jesus, right? So what happens is two trees, they mix one of the enzyme, one of the DMT. The one of them will stop cutting the DMT production off, so you're able to go into the journey. And when you go in, you're going to start seeing things. I don't know how to explain it. You can see aliens. You can see your grandmother who passed 100 years ago. She can take you to...
So now do you get up, or are you still laying down? Oh, okay.
You're in bed.
So the whole experience, you're sleeping.
You're sleeping. And then if she needs to clean something, I'm calling it a she because the Mother Earth, she's the god. If she needs to clean something, she's going to scan your body, and then she's going to take that energy, and you're either going to purge.
But if you're sleeping, how...
You're going to get up.
It's going to wake you up.
You're not really sleeping.
Okay.
You're in the journey. You're aware.
So now everybody's just sleeping.
Everybody's going
laying down.
You're going to either purge, or you're going to go to the bathroom, or you're going to cry, you can sweat, you can yawn, you can scream. Some people go through...
So now, are you aware of other people?
Everyone is aware of everyone. We're trying to be really conscious, because you cannot touch someone if they're going through the process. You have to not touch. And there are healers. There are many healers. They're walking around. They're always watching over us. If you are going through like a big purge, they will come. They will lotion you. They will smudge you. They will do a healing. And Taita is always with us.
And does Taita drink the medicine?
Absolutely, everyone drinks the medicine.
Oh, so even though he's watching over, he's also...
He's not watching over you physically, he's already there on the spirit realm. He's with you. He's the one who he's like the conductor. Okay. Because he's our commander, and he works with the spirit. He tells spirit what's up.
Okay, so he's also taking the medicine.
Oh yeah, because if he doesn't, he can diagnose you, because even though you're telling things on your consultation, he's not going to take that with a face value. He will, but when he drinks, he really goes into your subconscious, and he sees what they need to clean. And that's where his power comes from. That's why we can't even lie to him, because he knows. He's like the modern day Jesus. I love him. He changed my life. His teachings, what we do together, my connection with the spirit and him, he totally someone that I look up to, he's a human, he's a father, he's a brother, he's someone's son, he's not God, he's just a little ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. So while we're walking through this tunnel, he's the one holding the light for us.
And how long does the experience last?
All night, sundown to sunrise. But different kind of ayahuasca ceremonies, they usually do finish maybe around 3, 4, or 2. It starts around 8. But yahe is different. We drink when the sun comes down until the sun is up.
And you just drink it that one time?
You can take one. If you want to take more, you can go ask for more. If you can walk to the altar, you can take more.
Okay.
But if you cannot walk to the altar, you sit and enjoy your journey. I've had amazing journeys, bad ones, like hard ones, scary ones. You have to be really like a warrior to go through this. Like, you cannot be a wuss and do this work.
And then when you are you're coming off from it, how
you're
does...
sober, you up, you giggling, you're sharing, because the container is so important. That's why we don't really talk publicly immediately the next day, because the medicine stays with you 30 days after you drink. You have super vivid dreams, you have realizations, you have like more clarification. Something happens during the day, you're like, oh my god, I feel different. Your feelings changed because now you have new neural connections, because she does that. I had a brain surgery actually last year. Like, I watched the whole thing. The effects of plant medicine is not overnight. It's like you are on the higher consciousness, you're more aware. And then she teaches you to be in present moment, always on your breath. That's all that matters, because if I cut this and this, you give me 3 minutes, I'm dead. I'm nobody. You're nobody. We're all the same. We're all very fragile. So she teaches us to be in present moment and have fun. This is why we're here for. Enjoy life.
And I always hear people that have used plant medicine, and they always say, like, they'll never be the same, they're taken to another level, and a lot of people cannot handle, like, crowded places after that. Have you experienced some of that too?
So when you're vibrating higher, you cannot be in the low vibrating places, because it won't resonate. It will speed you up. You will lose friends. They're not in the same level with you anymore. I was actually, like, I wasn't able to go to Whole Foods because I was so open. And going to Whole Foods, that energy, I felt everything. I'm like, I cannot do that. I used to run home, but now I have tools. I use a lot of plants. Like, for example, when I go to Whole Foods, if I feel a little sensitive, I will put organic tobacco on my belly button and I will band-aid it, because that's our portal. So I will just close my portal, so I'm not taking everyone's energy in. I have my medicine belt.
And now tobacco contains niacin and B6, and so when you're...
If it's organic, and it's also preyed upon. I put it with an intention, and because tobacco has the power of cutting the negative energy. That's why some, like, Taita will use tobacco, not inhale it, but he will use it with it. It's like you're saging your home. But
during ceremonies, there's also a lot of tobacco use, right? Because it's kind of a driver for...
Nobody smokes, only yahe. We don't mix any plants with no marijuana, no nothing. We use hape. Hape is a tobacco snuff that actually opens your pineal gland. It's a pineal gland decalcifier scientifically, but it's very grounding, and it will just, like, pull your soul into your heart. I use it before meditation. I use it in the morning when the sun comes up. We do not mix any other medicine between the sun down and sunrise.
Got it.
It's the time for yahe. We won't be serving hape. We won't be eating mambe. We won't be doing tobacco. And the tobacco I put on my belly button is just like having a sage on me.
Okay, it's like a protection.
It's because our portal is the belly button.
Where we got life for 9 months.
So when you drink, you will see in the ceremony, I used to get everybody's things. Then Taita is like, you gotta close your portal so I can contain my own energy for me. And then I have my medicine belt. Everything has to be with intention, because our mind is so powerful. What you believe, you live. Period. If I believe that medicine belt is protecting me, it's protecting me. It's a piece of cloth. I can tie a string, but I'm visualizing I'm closing my door. Therefore, I'm protected. It's all in here. And drinking plant medicine, seeing actually what's happening in the spirit world, I'm like, ooh, that is true. You know.
So tell us a little bit about your coaching and how you would do integration coaching with someone that did plant medicine or someone that didn't do plant medicine.
What happens is, after the plant medicine, this is what our teacher says: plant medicine will do the 50% of the work, but other 50 is up to you. And what is the other 50? When you do plant medicine will clean you up. It will give you a clean slate, blank canvas. The can of worm open. You're cleaning this time. And now, after the plant medicine, if you don't do your integration, which is taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, self-care, what are you eating? Are you sleeping? How are your relationships? Are you going back to using drugs or drinking? All that stuff. If you don't take care of that, the work you did with plant medicine, in the garbage.
Right.
So what I do, this is actually what medicine wants me to do, because I'm actually really good at, talking people into getting healthy. I start working with people who are done plant medicine as an integration coach. I'm not a coach, I'm just a friend. I've just been there. I know exactly what they're going through. They'll call me. I will talk to them in 15-minute tap talk, and they're ready for the day. I basically put them on a second gear. I have that gift, and now I'm honoring it. I always had it. I was always aware of it, because everyone always calls me for things. But now I learned how to protect my energy, so now I'm ready to give. Before I didn't. And I get stronger by the minute by this work. That's why I kept drinking. But now I'm 110% healed. Now my work is to work with the light workers and help them get wherever they want to go. So keto and fasting comes very handy, because keto is a very nature-based diet. I mean, you eat whatever is available on nature. I don't really eat boxed food.
Right. That's exactly why we understand each other. We are the same. We're all about whole foods, and processed foods is just not food.
Yeah.
Mother Nature didn't make that for us to eat.
No. And yes, we do eat protein. I love red meat, and it's just part of the nature.
But that is part of nature.
But my red meat comes from a really
grass-fed, a happy cow.
It has to be a happy cow.
Yeah, of course. They have to have sunlight.
Everything.
And they can't be full of hormones and
killed properly too.
Right. Because that also matters.
Yeah. So yes, my red meat intake is very little, because it's really hard for me to find
that quality.
It's hard.
It is hard.
And it's a big business. And sometimes they will say, "Oh, it's grass fed." I'm like, "Is it grass finished?"
Right. Because they're usually grain finished.
3 months before they kill them, so they can get fat. I'm
right.
like, no, thank you. I'd rather pay $20 for a pound for a properly treated cow than I don't eat.
Well, that's what's really difficult for me, because being kosher, which actually the animals are slaughtered differently, but unfortunately, even the grass-fed are usually finished with the grain.
Yeah.
And unless you ask, you're not really going to know.
Yeah.
And chickens especially
also. Oh my
also.
God, chicken's the worst.
The worst.
So I stick with wild salmon, wild fish. I find it less horrifying.
Yeah,
but
same.
I don't eat farm salmon, because they feed them with corn as well.
Which is GMO.
Oh my gosh, don't even. But I found natural organic corn in Amazon. And it's so yummy. And they're like huge.
My daughter loves corn, and I'm always like, I'm trying to get her away from it. But
and it was very hard for me to eat there, because everything is rice and beans
Yeah.
and a lot of carbs.
And
even
it's
though,
not keto.
No, and I was like, what do I do? You know, I
Yeah.
was bloated. I was just sticking to a lot of fruit. It's a fruit heaven. They have
But
fruit
a lot of
juice.
fruits are also not accepted in keto. So how did you do
Zero.
that? Yeah.
I only eat fruit and my high glycemic food around my moon time, because 5 days
Yeah.
prior our moon, we have to introduce carbs and sugar into our
And
system.
by moon she means our menstruation.
Yes.
That's the word that we use, is our moon time.
Because we are super connected to
To
the
the moon. Men are connected to the sun,
And
women to the moon.
because the masculine and the feminine.
Right.
And
The yin
moon
and
is
the
feminine.
yang.
Look, I have chills because there's 13 cycles on the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and we have 13 cycles on the
That's
moon.
right.
And we should do another talk on that. How actually, like, I collect my blood and I give it to the earth with each day has a different purpose, but the moon cycle that we go through, our hormones are different.
Right.
So where we take rest, where we are
What we're eating.
creative, not just what eating. Like, I'm talking about the more spiritual work. Okay, from this day to day 4, I need to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this day to that day 6, whatever, I'm in my winter. So you're going into winter, spring, autumn, and summer.
Mm.
That's the cycle we go through every month. So
I also know that, exercise, which is really important for us on our cycle, the type of exercise that our body needs is also really different.
yeah. So in my book, actually, I have,
Yeah, let's talk about your book a little
I
bit.
have all this written down. Like, you can talk. I mean, sweet bath, bitter bath. Like, I do sweet bath pretty much every day. The
Mhm.
lotion that I was spraying on you, it's a sweet bath.
Yeah, when I see Juliet and we have meetings together,
She has all these, like,
I'm
little-
always like, Juliet, what do you have? Put it on me. Open my heart. Put it on me. She's always got something, and they always smell so amazing. She has something to
we
put on
use
me.
So all the recipes are in my book.
So I want you to sign this for me
Absolutely.
on the radio.
Yeah.
I bought this book, and I've gonna be honest, I don't have much time, but I definitely have read some of it. But I want a special autograph from
Ooh.
her, and then we're gonna wrap up soon. But I would love for you to talk about your book a bit and share what you share in it, and maybe show some of the recipes so that people may be interested in buying your book, which is available on Amazon, and I will definitely post
Thank you.
all your info so people could
So
purchase.
my book is for me 5.
I've read some, but
Okay.
I don't want to
And,
lie and
and
say
the
I read it
other
all.
50 I'm talking about is the keto part, because that's what serves me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a chef, but I have.
I saw those great recipes in there, though.
They're my mom's recipes.
The-
We're Mediterraneans. We're Turks.
Right,
Like, we
right.
eat healthy, and
Yeah.
everything here is I make. I eat.
It looks delicious.
And my children eat them, and it's really easy to prep. There's only
there was a meat recipe in there that just looked
Meatballs,
mouth-watering.
kefte, yeah.
Yes, the kefta.
Kefte is amazing. My children
My daughter
love,
loves it.
And I don't use the breadcrumbs, but if the kefte is super watery, I will put a little bit of almond flour.
Oh yeah, that's what,
But
because I
not the
do
meal
gluten free. The flour,
Very little.
yes,
Just to
to give it the airy,
Yeah.
fluffy.
that's it.
Yeah.
Usually I don't do it, and if you find like 20% fat, 80%
Protein.
it just
The meat. I
Meat.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
you know
Yeah, you need the fat in there.
you have to.
Yeah.
Keto is high fat, high protein, massive amount of vegetables.
Yeah.
The
low carb ones.
Mm-hmm. To my soul sister, I'm so honored to walk this path with you.
Oh, I'm so excited. And you guys, Juliet's going to be back again, and we will definitely talk more on keto. I think that our next show will be on keto because she is definitely a keto pro. And she can talk about fasting and all her hacks that she has. She's also a biohacker, which I call myself that too, because I call myself one as well, because we're always biohacking, right? That's how we figure out what works.
Biohacking actually using your body into full potential so you can enjoy this life
Exactly. To the fullest.
to the fullest.
Create longevity,
Because we
happy,
have an
healthy.
amazing
Gift.
vehicle.
It's a gift.
I'm like G65.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I
thank
didn't
you
record anything, by the way.
so
I forgot to hit
much.
record.
Oh, well, I
It's all
have
good.
mine and I'll send it to you. But thank you so much, Juliet. Thanks for
welcome.
being here with us.
This
And
is such an honor. Thank you for having
I loved
me.
having you, and Juliet will definitely be back because she has so much info to share with us, and we have a lot more subjects to cover, and she will definitely be back to share them with us. Thank you so much for being here, Juliet, and check out this book. It's available on Amazon. I will definitely link it,
Thank you.
and check it out. And it's got great recipes.
Send us questions. What do you want to know? Like, what should we talk about next?
Yeah, if you need, what do you want to hear? What do you want us to talk about? If you need healing, I will
They can
tag
always
Juliet.
ask me. They can connect me on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Just
You can listen to her talk. She does one-on-ones, group sessions.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely be posting some new projects that we have coming
Yes.
and events.
Yes.
And we look forward to having
We
you
want
more.
to meet many of light workers as possible.
That's right.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for listening to Wholesome Together, and we'll see you next week.